Hello everybody! Hello and welcome back to another team game. We're going to be having 5-man dodo versus noobs and kiters. Sorry guys, I have not been uploading for the last few days because I got really interested into a game called Awesome Knots. Playing that for days up till like 4 in the morning was amazing and it was fun, but I am back now with the games. Early bands out, Naga Siren and the OD, follow up with the Nyx Assassin and the Bat Rider, but we have the Chaos Knight Wisp on separate teams. Not the same team for that big jump gank initiation. We have them on separate teams, with the Weaver over with the IO, and Chaos Knight and the Darkseer on the same team. Darkseer, Chaos Knight on the same team is pretty nasty with a lot of illusions. IO Weaver gives a lot of chances of gank potential. However, moving into the ban phase, we have the Jakiro being banned out, so they're worried about that decent duration stun, but more about that reach and how it can stun multiple people. And then an Alchemist being taken out by Noobs and Kiters. This is an interesting ban out. We've been seeing a good amount more Alchemists being played in lineups in conjunction with Weavers. And it's a good setup. However, it forces you to run two farm-dependent heroes, which can, in the late game, be extremely good for you. However, it runs the risk that either of their farms contested, or if a tri-lane goes poorly, or if there's a jungle ganker or whatever you choose to go, it creates a lot more problems for the late game. So, smart ban though, coming out from Noobs and Kiters to get rid of that Alchemist so they don't have to deal with that extra core that will be supporting the Weaver as its secondary core. It would really depend on who was the carry, but next ban coming out for 5-man dodo, they choose to ban out the Queen of Pain. So they're going to be wanting someone probably like, maybe like a Puck in their mid lane, either that or something a little bit wonkier. They might choose to go, what I've been seeing a little bit, which is the Troll Warlord mid. It's a weird strategy, but if you're able to pull it off, it's a very potent mid. The Troll with his throwing axes and the lane clearance of the whirling axes gives him a lot of farm ability, as well as a lot of decent harass. So, it's possible they'll go for a Puck, possible they pick up a Troll. Because the Troll would be nice with the IO and the Weaver, and that's got the slow of the axe as well as the burst damage. They may also choose to go to the Puck route because of the burst damage of the Rift and the Ball, as well as the hold from the coil. But waiting on the next ban, Warlock, solid ban for them to take out. Warlock is one of my favorite and least favorite heroes depending on whose team he's on. His ultimate, just with the mini stun and the golems, does so much damage, and it's great setup for the rest of the team. Rubik being picked up by Noobs and Kiters, that's going to give them some decent steal. Sakuchi Rubik is always agitating to deal with. However, I feel like that's a bit of a premature Rubik to pick up, because the 5-man Doto, whatever you want to say it, they haven't really picked up any heroes that have these big ultimates or big abilities. So Rubik, while he's a good pickup, now 5-man dodo, they have an ability to react to whatever it is that they have planned. They certainly won't go down the route of something a little... Oh, never mind. They pick up a Lich. Big ultimate to steal. That Chain Frost is absolutely amazing. And Lich, I'm kind of surprised they picked up a Lich. He has a lot of good lockdown. He's got a lot of good stun. However, if the Lich and Darkseer were used in conjunction, it would have been a little bit better. Plus, the Lich has a lot of abilities, so if the Rubik steals any of them, it will benefit his team enormously. Takes the Chain Frost, gets the bounce started with the Darkseer in conjunction with the Darkseer. Get the armor, you can buff up your Chaos Knight, you can buff up your cores. You get the blast, and you just get more burst damage along with the Fade Bolt. So, questionable pickup, but we'll move through the draft nonetheless. Their next pickup on Noobs and Kiters really should be some kind of hardcore. Something that can take a decent amount of damage, but can deal out as much damage. They already have solid support. They have a decent core in the form of the Darkseer to run that hard lane, and they have the Chaos Knight. They now need either a big tank or they need big lockdown, and which is where I might think maybe a Shadow Shaman, maybe a Dragon Knight just for that extra push from the Corrosive Breath. That also gets them their mid laner. Maybe you'll go for something like a Shadow Shaman for the push. Nope, they're going to go mid lane Shadow Fiend. So we're going to be having a lot of DPS being done downstream. Now, the question is rising later up, or later on. Noobs and Kiters, they have a lot of pull-in and lockdown the Shadow Fiend and the Chaos Knight can set up. However, when they have ganks from the IO, the Shadow Fiend is relatively squishy. The Chaos Knight doesn't have a lot of great escapes. The only real escape he has is Darkseer, being able to surge him. Whereas 5-man Dota, I'm going to call it Dota, they have an escape on Weaver and they have a semi-escape on the Relocate, which Wisp can also carry with him, whoever is being attacked, and they pick up more forms of escape in the form of the Wind Run on the Wind Runner. Wind Runner is also a very solid pickup against heroes like a Chaos Knight, like a Shadow Fiend, who are going to be putting out those illusions, and the chance of a Shackle Shot latching is higher, but also depending on who you latch, it could potentially go downhill really fast. Wind Runner, very solid pickup, good core for 5-man to have.
Reserve time.
Now, their final bans on Noobs and Kiters, they need to ban out tanks. 5-man did a Doto, hardwire that in my brain. It did a Doto, like the dead bird. That got morbid. But the Noobs and Kiters, they need to ban out heavy tanks. And as strange as it sounds, I feel like an Axe potentially could go on Doto's team. You have a lot of armor, you have a lot of damage potential, and a lot of tank ability to be able to fight up against those heroes like the Chaos Knight, like the Darkseer, like the Rubicon, like the Shadow Fiend. And Noobs and Kiters, they're going to let their time run out, so they're not going to get a ban in. It's a little unusual. So they're not going to be able to ban out any of the key heroes. Maybe they feel like they've already got them set and put away.
10 seconds remaining.
5-man, they need to get rid of a support. And a good support to get rid of would be someone like a Lion. Get less burst damage. They choose to go to the next good burst damage on the next good lockdown. That could have potentially come out from Noobs and Kiters. Which, yeah, that's a good pick. That's a good takedown. Partially because of all the just stun and initiation. But forget about stun when you have a Visage. And also you get a Sven. That's their tank on Dota. Visage, however, over on Noobs and Kiters, I personally am a huge fan of Visage. We saw earlier, a little while back, a Visage go a Shadow Blade, playing a core Visage. That was really dumb. Don't do that, ever. So I'm curious if they're going to be able to play it a little bit smarter this time. But Sven, that pickup on 5-man Dota, they have a lot of stun and slow. Noobs and Kiters, they have 1, 2, 3 potentially to the power of the Visage, and 4 in the form of the Chaos Knight. So they have about 4 stunning abilities. Lich, he has a slow. Windrunner has a potentially 2 stuns in the form of the Shackle Shot. Sven has his stun, and then you have the Tether stun from the IO. So a lot of control coming out from these teams. However, the global gank ability is in favor of 5-man. And if they're able to find those pickoffs on these squishy supports like the Rubik, like the Visage, it can turn drastically in their favor very, very quickly. So, I'm going to be jumping into this game. While the game is paused, let's introduce our players in this game. So over on the Rubik, we're going to have Chieftain. It's an I, Chieftain on the Rubik. Over on the Visage, we will have No Fear. Over to the Shadow Fiend, we're going to be having Owned. On the Chaos Knight, we will have Reveal, High Five. Thunder Sand, High Five. And then over to Darkseer, we will have Reaper. Over to the Dire side, we're going to be having Lazarov. Lazarov on the Windrunner. Rocking a very stylish Windrunner too. Full Featherfall set. Over on the Weaver, we will have Lino. Over on the Sven, we will have Kid. Over on the Wisp, we will have Elmont. And then on the Lich, we will have Pest. I'm going to say that, Pest. That's cool. But they're all going to be moving into their respective lanes. And it looks like a potential tri-lane could be set up to the Windrunner Sven IO. Although the Windrunner may be running mid. However, the potential for a Lich mid is also there. It looks like they're all 4 going to be going up here. Just to make sure they're woods are not warded. The Weaver is going to be taking the solo bot lane, as to be expected from a Weaver. But the Radiant side, they're just going through their jungle, making sure they can control those runes. So,
30 seconds to battle.
getting this game started. Let's see what announcers we've got in here. So we have a Pirate Captain and a Bastion. Let's go for that. It's a good mix. So, this game not quite getting underway just yet. Chaos Knight sitting back in his base, waiting for the creep wave to spawn. And the rune contest begins. It looks like it is going to be a not top. It's going to be a regeneration rune, the most useless rune you can get early game. That is going to spawn on the bot lane where no one has wards. So that rune will be picked up eventually when someone decides to grab it. But moving into the lanes, we're going to have Chaos Knight, Rubik, and, oh, hang on a second, top lane. Visage is being jumped on. There's a stun initially. Tether stun. Going to go through, and there's a lot of damage coming out. However, they aren't having the body blocks in order to finish him off, and he should be able to get away safely. Hang on a second. A little bit extra damage and one more last hit. Yes! Kid will get the last hit, and first blood already being drawn from the overextension of the Visage. That was a very questionable move. What does he have? He has Sentry Ward, so he did not place those wards, and he was trying to get that ward. Hang on a second, they may go for another one. If they could catch out another hero, that would be huge. But they're not going to. The telekinesis was enough to push them back. But very exciting start to the game. Sven getting the initial first blood, and that's going to give him a great start in this lane. Now he's basically planted his flag here. Hang on a second, Wisp in a little bit of trouble. Does Chaos Knight? Yep, he did level his Chaos Bolt. So they got to be a little bit Wisp has to be a little bit more careful in how he handles things. However, dewarding coming out. Hang on, pick up, throw down. Are they going to try anything? Nope, they're just trying to get the deward, which they successfully do.
Not gonna happen.
Meanwhile, in the other lanes, I don't really want to leave that lane, but in the other lanes, Windrunner is currently losing to SF by a last hit, but the SF, that's a little questionable. Hang on a second, top lane. Are we seeing anything? Nope, just some initial harass to the Wisp, just being pushed back. Sentry Ward was placed down right there, and then is going to be immediately dewarded out by the Wisp. And Soul Ring coming up. Interesting pickup for the Sven. I haven't seen a Soul Ring on a Sven before. It's creative. It'll certainly give the Sven a lot more ability to just spam his skills. So I'm curious how this is going to play out. The Sven with that Soul Ring is going to be able to use his Storm Hammers far more frequently, and it will give him a lot more strength within the lane. And here we go, some initiation going. It may have been a little waste. Tether stun up. However, there's the Chaos Bolt, holds him in place. Kid, he's taking a lot of damage. However, the Warcry goes out, gives him that extra armor, but he's dropping very, very low. 2 more right clicks should do it, and it doesn't. Courier! No, Courier dies. What was on it? Soul Ring. That was the Sven's Soul Ring. That's a big blow to this top lane. That's mana and abilities that are not going to be able to be used. Oh boy, I bet you 5, they're going to be, hang on a second, initiation. There was the Chaos Bolt out onto the Wisp, and he's just nuked down. Absolutely destroyed by the Visage's Soul Assumption. A little bit overkill in order to finish him off, just so that he maybe might have wanted to give that last kill to the Chaos Knight, but decided it was not worth the risk. So Visage will secure the kill. And now top lane's looking kind of in favor. I'm not really sure who it's in favor of. The Sven losing his Soul Ring was critical. However, the Sven not dying makes the lane a little bit better than it potentially could have. It makes it go a little bit better than it potentially could have been. So they're just going to start farming up underneath their tower and getting their stuff back. However, over on the Radiant side, they're getting huge farm out of all this. Visage, did you manage to buy anything? You got a headdress already flying out, so he's going to have that regen for his team already. And Chaos Knight, he's got his magic wand finished. Meanwhile, mid lane, There's some initial harass. Laserov, he's not really going to be able to kill off this SF. But while they rune control the potential, hang on a second, top lane, there's going to be pickup throw down, and Kid, if he dies, is going to be huge. No, here comes the tether, one more right click, they can't get, no, Fade Bolt. Fade Bolt secures it. And that's good to set that Kid back. I'm not really sure how far. Courier has not respawned yet. So he still doesn't have that soul ring that is so important. He's forced to buy a TP scroll and get back up there, but they can't afford to fall behind in this. Sven currently has 8 kills. Random Stormhammer going out there. But 8 last hits to 17 on the Chaos Knight. The CS board is massively in favor of the Radiant side. The tri-lane is currently going in the Radiant's favor. Chaos Knight's getting huge farm, and the Visage is getting farm as well. He's got his headdress. He's got a couple clarities and everything like that ready for him. And he'll be well on his way to getting that mech for the team. And Rubik, he's got his Ring of Regen and a Sage's Mask. I'm guessing he's going to go for a Force Staff at some point. That might be his first item. Or he might go a Soul Ring himself. This is a possibility. Just so he can have a little bit more spammability on these spells. But Kid, he's got extra armor with this Lich. It's still going to make it very challenging for him to actually go in now. Because they've equalized, this top lane has now equalized and been surpassed by the Radiant side. They now own this top lane. Meanwhile in mid lane, Windrunner is doing decent. Oh, nice shackle, skillful shackle. However, nothing really came of it. Didn't want to blow her power shot. But Windrunner, she's doing okay. However, she's getting massively CS. 21-6 to a 24. To a 24 last hit. Shadow Fiend. However, she's doing decent rune control as far as I can tell. She's gonna have to follow crow this because of her. That Shadow Fiend managed to grab the illusion rune. He's TP and he's rotated top, and he's gonna find the wisp. 1 raise, 2 raise misses. However, he's gonna tether through and should be getting away. Initial nukes coming out, not doing anything. However, there's the stun. Holds owned in place. Here comes the Chaos Knight. He's looking for blood. He may have overextended just a little too far out. But there's the Chaos Bolt. Holds the Lich in place. They're going to be coming back around. Pick up. Throw down. No, throws him away to get him away from his teammates. Nothing really coming of it. And Windrunner. You are in a horrendous spot right now. They happen to that they see her. But they're not going to be doing too much about her. And now these 4 players having a standoff for the moment. Windrun comes through. There's a shackle and it managed to latches. Here we go. Turn around. First Shredder Ray goes and the Wisp is going to get killed off. Nope. Wisp is going to live. First one's going to die is the Rubik. And now the Chaos Knight. He's in trouble. He's going to not go down. This Wisp living on 60 HP. But 1 goes down in the form of the Rubik. And these 3 heroes stay alive on the top lane. This top lane is, I think it's going to start to swing in favor of the Dire now. Meanwhile down on bot lane, we haven't really seen much action. The Weaver currently has 17 last hits to 30 last hits of the Darkseer, and this can be expected from this lane. The Darkseer naturally will probably outlane the Weaver, unless the Weaver has really good last hitting ability. But the Iron Shell just creates so many problems for anyone in the hard lane. So, to be expected. Weaver having a little bit of initial trouble on this lane, particularly with the Soul Ring Darkseer. But we're just waiting for this Weaver to really find his stride, because he is going to be the main late game carry. Sven is really good, however he doesn't quite have the right click potential of a Weaver because of the Germinate. While he has those big God Strength abilities, it's not quite as good as a Weaver's Germinate. Just because the Weaver, once he gets his Monkey King bar, he gets things like a Crystallis maybe, or something big and huge and scary. And then this Germinate attack suddenly becomes unbelievably powerful. So, waiting for any kind of major damage to start. We haven't really seen a whole lot happen now. Kind of died down. Phase boots up in the Windrunner. Chaos Knight is currently banking about 1,000. He's probably going to be buying his boots or waiting until he can get to the secret shop. However, these two are kind of waiting in the wings here. A little bit on Miss Tetherstone. But they're still going to throw the storm here. This is a commitment that they really don't have the ability to do, except for the Windrunner. Shackle will miss. They really can't continue to do this. That was a really late Stormhammer. That really was not worth it. However, with all this, they're going to be able to push through. Meanwhile, on bot lane, lane's been heavily pushed out by the Darkseer. And the Weaver can't really do much about it, so bot lane's going to be going down soon. However, mid lane, this Shadow Fiend is free farming. Oh, hang on a second. Top lane, Chaos Volca, that stuns the Windrunner, but they immediately nuke down the Chaos Knight, and Visage is going to follow. And then soon follow up, maybe the Rubik. But no, here comes the Shadow Fiend. He's going to be coming in to start doing initial damage. However, they're just going to turn around and get away. Power Shock goes through, misses his prediction. He's going to grab an Illusion Rune, however, in the process. They're going to continue to chase this. And I don't really know if they're going to... Oh, no, they're going to catch this Rubik. They will have vision of him very soon. Kid, he's going to come around, just fists his electric hand right in his face and just takes all of his teeth out of his head. So that was quite a dive and ended up extremely successful for the Dire side. Able to get several kills and no real repercussions. Now they return to farming. Heal bot lane. Lino starting to harass this Darkseer a little bit more. He has those Tranquil Boots, so he'll be able to do a little bit more harassment and take a little bit more damage. However, he still has to be so careful versus the Darkseer, because if he gets a good vac and good damage in the wrong position, or if somebody rotates in from the top like the Chaos Knight, this could be a very dead Weaver very, very quickly. So, but speaking of rotations, here comes the Windrunner. But she's spotted from the creep. And he's just gonna, I would imagine, nope, totally wisps the bugs, and there's the Shackle. Shackle right on the melee creep. Additional damage? Yep, they're gonna get it. Geminate attack gets the kill, and meanwhile top lane, there's a lot of action potentially going to be going on up here. They're just kind of waiting. Sven very low. They're not really going to be... They're going to try and push in. Level 1 Phantasm is up, but that's not really enough to push just yet. However, they're going to be looking for it. There we go. Chaos Knight, 1 second though. Can't have any good luck. Kid does an initial stun, holds the Chaos Knight out. They're just going to fall back. However, they pushed the creep lane back very, very far. And Wisp, level 5, has not quite hit that critical level 6 that they need in order to gank. And the Sven, along with the Stormhammer, along with this relocate, it's going to create so many issues for the Radiant side. Lino, though, he's got a Ring of Health at 12 minutes, so it's going to be a very late Lincoln Sphere. Meanwhile, top lane, they're just going to hold it for a little while. Stormhammer goes out. They should get the kill here. Tether stun up. Nope, hang on a second. There goes the Meteor. Holds Elmont out. Wisp should be dying right now. No, he's stunned. The Wisp will live. Kid, he's got his ultimate going, and he is in rage mode. There's the Stormhammer, the Soul Ring being used to its fullest. And then he just gets a double kill from the from the ultimate that he has. And then he's just relocated to base, heals up just a little bit, and then is going to return directly to the top lane. And it looks like he's getting a Mithril Hammer, so he's already going for that potential BKB. If Sven can get a BKB, he becomes a monster. However, Windrunner, she's going to be killed. They need this kill. They really need to get this kill. However, Shadow Fiend, he just doesn't have enough speed. He's going to need to back up, and he could potentially... Oh, what the heck? These uses the Soul Assumption to kill off the Wisp immediately. However, the Shadow Fiend, he's now in a bit of a straight... No, he's okay. He's going to be fine. He used that wind-up from the Requiem to just annihilate the wisp. And in the meantime, we had 2 more deaths in the forms of the Lich and the Windrunner, who were trying to help their wisp friend. Shadow Fiend, making it happen where it counts. He still hasn't bought his Shadow Blade yet. He's banking a lot of cash. I'm not really sure why he's doing this.
Dire's middle tower.
Maybe just curious what's going on. Hang on a second. Bot lane. Darkseer in a lot of trouble. There's the Stormhammer going to be coming out. He's already used the Surge. He's in a lot of trouble right now. They're going to be chasing him up. There's the Warcry. Armor up. And the nice vac holds him back. You know, though, he's in a bit of trouble. I'm not sure he can really dive this. Kid, there's a second Stormbolt, and it's going to get the kill. This Sven, 7-1. He is so monstrously scary right now. Hang on a second. Bot lane, what on earth? Lich, you are way too far out. Was stolen. Just the sacrifice. Nothing critical. 4 heroes now down here with the wisps. He doesn't quite have his relocate yet. Shadow Blade finally picked up on that Shadow Fiend.
Top tower be under attack.
And he's going to need to start using that, putting that to good use soon, because they're going to start losing towers. Bot lane, they're taking a lot of damage. TP coming in from the Darkseer. This is a very bad idea if he's doing this. He puts up his Iron Shell just to try to tank through the damage. Nice initial vac, but he's stunned up. He's going to be able to just die here. He's just going to, nope. Nope, not enough burst damage. No, and at the cost, though. Lich is going to go down instead. And the Darkseer lives. That Vanguard doing great work to keep him alive. Have a Windrunner. She's in a bit of trouble. Power shot through. She's going to die. No. No, she's going to wait. Brave Chill isn't quite enough. However, initial Soul Assumption does some initial damage, but not enough to really do a whole lot. But they're really going for this. But no, it just gets nuked down. Windrunner is already dead. Lino, he's looking for kills. However, he's not going to find them. And Amont, he's in a bit of trouble now. Initial 1 raise, 2 raise. Gets the kill. Shadow Fiend starting to come into this game. Didn't really see him much early game. Now we're seeing him. Meanwhile, top lane, Sven is going man mode on the Chaos Knight. Which the Chaos Knight, 4-second stun. Extremely lucky. However, the Sven, he's got his own stun up his sleeve. He's going to throw that out and start doing initial damage. He's not going to be able to kill him off. But he's going to certainly chase him. Oh, hang on a second. Nope, I'm hearing a jump in. Yep, there's the jump in. 2-second stun, but nope, nothing comes of it. They jump on in and they're able to destroy him. Chaos Knight goes down. And Wisp using the relocate for that. I would say that's considering the losses and the inability to take that bottom lane, that was absolutely worth it. The more they can shut down this Chaos Knight, the better. Because the Shadow Fiend is starting to get scary. And speaking of which, he's coming in back. And where's the Requiem? That's a little bit, yeah, I was going to say, dude. A little far. Here we come. Requiem of Souls. Thrown out. Not enough damage, though. Initial Shadow Raise. Second Shadow Raise kills the Sven. Solid move by the Shadow Fiend. Able to start coming back into this game. He's going to show why he's the carry of the game. Not the CK. CK is just that initial core. And CK is going to be building into the armlet. The armlet on a Chaos Knight is, to some degree, a little bit more terrifying than a Lifestealer. Lifestealer is scary, however, Chaos Knight has the armlet effect carry over to his Phantasms. So while Lifestealer has that magic immunity and initial raw, terrified scariness, the Chaos Knight has all the push ability that you could ever ask for. And combine that up with the Iron Shell, it just creates a terrifying push potential. Excuse me. So, they're going to start banging down the door, hoping to destroy this tower. Wisp just teleported somewhere. Top lane, that's a little bit odd. I think he thought somebody was up there, but hang on a second. Warcry. Surging forward, are they going to try something? Nope, they find one. Ultimate is popped, have no fears. He's going to be killed instantly. However, solid back. Managed to get everybody, and 2 already dead. And they're going to get 3 dead. Who's left? Windrunner. In a lot of trouble, but she's going to get away. But incredible play coming out from the Darkseer. able to get a great wall, great vac, replicates the Sven,
Swabbies.
and just ends the fight right there. No questions, comments, or concerns. And they might go for another one. Great vac again, bringing them together. However, the two L's, Lazarov and Lino, they're going to get away, I think. Yeah, Lazarov is going to... Nope. Reality Rift picked up, throw down. He's going to die. One more right click. Done. Predator, however, shield buyback. This is a little bit questionable. I'm not sure why he would buy back. They have a good amount of lane presence, however, you really can't do a whole lot. Warcry's up. He's going to be trying to look for that stun, but they're already backing out. You know, though, he's looking for his targets. Kid, he doesn't quite see anyone. This is a very far dive for going for somebody. Have no fears. Has a little bit of preliminary trouble. They're going to get him at least. Visage goes down for the second time. Meanwhile, Chieftain, you're a little bit in trouble, man. Kid manages to nab a familiar, and meanwhile, in from behind, you have the Darkseer, who's just got a DD rune. He's doing the edge. Requiem just obliterates them all. 3 dead, and Kid's gonna go down as well with one more Sakuchi from the stolen from the Rubik. Lino's gonna get away, but unbelievably, just incredible play coming out from Shadow Fiend. Getting that Requiem of Souls perfectly, decimating 5-man's lineup, and just able to clean house. Now they can push. There is in no doubt that they can't use this to the maximum potential. Chaos Knight's going to be hitting that level 11 soon, which means he's going to have 2 Phantasms with the armlet bonus. And they're going to be able to push down towers real quickly. Lino, he's got his Perseverance. That's it. He doesn't quite have those big damage dealing items. Hang on a second. Wisp, TP in. They're going to be going on the Shadow Fiend. However, they have no dust. So that's a wasted Wisp ultimate. No dust to be able to reveal off the enemy. And that was a little bit... That's a questionable move. And just out of frustration, just chooses to punch the creep wave. However, Kid, he's going to be having his BKB soon. And once he gets that BKB, the Darkseer wall won't affect him, I don't believe. However, he still has to deal with other right-clicking heroes like the Shadow Fiend, who's working on his own BKB. However, if he can Sven, for the time that he'll have his BKB, he should use it to great effect while he has the chance. Because the potential for a counterattack once the BKB wears off is just going to be a massive pain in the neck to have to deal with. Because that Soul Ring, he's just spamming out all of his fist just because rage. Just rage. Currently, what are we looking at for the net worth? So currently, we've got this Shadow Fiend standing on 9,000 net worth. So he is very, very rich, man. Darkseer immediately following up with the Chaos Knight as well. And this is... The Dire Side are losing on gold, they're losing on map control, and they're losing in team fight for the moment. They haven't yet found that team fight and that synergy with these heroes that are just going to be able to get them those winning combos. Speaking of which, BKB up on the SF. And now all the spells, the initiation from Sven, the IO relocate, it's going to do next to nothing against this Shadow Fiend. However, likewise, Sven, he's got his BKB now. So while we have dual with BKBs up on some of the bigger carries, we're missing one carry, and that's the Weaver. Weaver's the late game carry for this team. He's the right click damage. And because of all of these issues that he's been having, he hasn't died, but he hasn't gotten any kills. Also, his farm has been severely weakened. He's only got 4,000 gold in the bank that he's been able to farm up. And that's creating a lot of problems for this team. The Weaver, he needs to be getting that Lincoln Sphere as soon as possible through stacking or whatever he chooses. Because Kid, he can carry the game for a little while. But once he can't do those right clicks, if he's not able to get all of his cleave damage along with that God Strength in, Knack is going to absolutely overrun them. speaking of Knack, they're just biding their time for the moment. They know they have a lead. However, they're not quite capitalizing on it just yet. They have decent warding and vision. They're going to be able to see when the heroes are overextending. However, I feel like they need to go smoke gank, which looks like they're going to. Rubik just brought that smoke. They need to go smoke gank, kill off a few heroes, and then start taking towers, hopefully go Rex. If they can't do that, at least take out this bottom tower, and then go Roche. Speaking of which, Mech almost completed by the Visage, just needs 400 more. And the Rubik, he's got his Arcanes, and that Smoke of Deceit. Meanwhile, bot lane, we have the Darkseer in a little bit of trouble. Shackle is able to latch, and there's the initial fist and the tether stun, and they're just going to annihilate him. If he's not, is he going to be able to get away? Surge is wearing for a very long time, and he's going to live. He's going to live, and there goes the relocate just to get it out. But massive windup is able to kill off two. Kills off the Windrunner and the Lich. And then the Weaver, he's going to follow suit soon. However, he's not going to be able to just go down without a fight. He kills off one before dying. And Kid, he's back in here. He's got BKB, and he's got his God Strength. However, he's not going to be able to do enough to the armlet illusions. And then it's just a salt to the wound. Shadow Rays to the face of the Wisp, and he's no Con Chaos Knight using his Chaos Bolt, stopping the Sven from getting away. That is a full 5-man team wipe. Lich managed to spawn in the meantime, but that is 5 men dead. And they're going to go tower, and they really should go Roche, and maybe just look to finish this. They've lost a lot of their pushing potential, so they can't take Rax. However, they can absolutely take Roche. They really should. At this point, you've got the heroes down. Nope, looks like they're not going to. Oh, Shackle. Goes awry, but not really going to do much. But, oh, hang on a second. There's the Shackle. Goes all the way across the map and ends up shackling the Chaos Knight. But Mech completed now. Mech up on the Visage, and is going to start making all of these heroes just as tanky as all get up. You're not going to be able to kill any of these carries. Even characters like the Rubik or even the Darkseer, who surged himself after he was triple stunned by the Shackle. Hang on a second, we got to jump in. Too far away though. The Wisp, we're in trouble, man. Reality Rift, it's online, but not in range. But as I was saying, Darkseer, he was shackle shotted, tether stunned, and storm hammered, which it looks like they're going to do that again. Some initial damage, surges up, and he's just going to get away. He knows he can do this. He doesn't have to fear the enemy team. He can just keep doing that because he has the surge, he has the tank ability, and hang on a second, are we going to see a raise? There goes the big KB, and there's the Requiem, and it just destroys the Wisp, and Lino's going to be going down from the Soul Assumption. Meanwhile, Kid, he's going to be annihilated soon if they have a pickup. Do they have a pickup? Anything? Nope, Soul Assumption through. Kid, very, very low, and he's going to go down with one more right click. There it is. Visage gets it with his burden. 3 dead on the side of 5 men. And they want more. Looking for more pickup. Throw down on the jeez. Poor Lich just gets destroyed by this Chaos Knight. Just Shadow Bolt. The Chaos Bolt. Just flying through, stunning him up, and just finishing him. At 5 men, I would not be surprised if we saw a GG call come out very soon. They really can't do a lot. Their coordination is not as good as Knack. Knack has been hitting their marks, hitting their abilities, and just making everything work so that they're able to get these kills. In Windrunner, that was a very poor decision TPing into that. 4-second stun on the Windrunner. Chaos Knight just annihilates her. That's a very questionable move, and just one more right click is going to kill the Lich. And they're just feeding themselves, just throwing their bodies at him. And GG is the call out from Lazarov. And a good game indeed. Solid early game from 5 man. They were able to use the Sven and the Wisp Lich combo to just start doing that damage and start winning that tri lane. However, Knack, they just turned it around. Shadow Fiend got tanky, and tanky, he got big items, he got big, amazing Requiems, and just murdered everyone. And I feel like 5-man might have forgotten about him. They focused a little bit too much on the Chaos Knight, but that is going to conclude this game, guys. We will be back soon with another team game. We will see you at that later date.